Have you ever wondered what silent forces might be subtracting years from your life without you even realizing it? What if the choices you make today are the keys to unlocking a longer, healthier, and more fulfilling life? In this video, we're going to uncover the hidden decisions, habits, and relationships that could be standing between you and the vibrant future you desire. We'll delve into essential wisdom that few discuss. Insights that can transform the time you have left into a stage of true realization. Stay with us as we reveal powerful truths and practical steps to help you maintain your independence, enhance your well-being, and find deeper meaning in your journey. You'll discover how to simplify your life, cultivate genuine relationships, and make conscious choices that pave the way for peace and harmony. Don't miss out on these life-changing insights. Watch until the end to equip yourself with the knowledge and tools to rewrite your own story with health, dignity, and purpose. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. The clay vase and the probability of aging lightly. In a quaint, peaceful village, nestled away from the chaos of the world, there lived a mysterious old philosopher. He was not your typical sage who sought the spotlight. No, his presence was soft, his aura filled with an unspoken serenity that people couldn't help but be drawn to. His house, modest yet welcoming, was a haven for those seeking solace, wisdom, or guidance. Every day, the small home buzzed with visitors from all walks of life, each hoping to find answers to their questions about love, life, and loss. But there was something truly remarkable about this philosopher, something that set him apart not only in his teachings but also in the peaceful way he lived his life. Unpretentious and calm, he walked through life independently, free from the usual noise of worldly concerns. It was clear to anyone who encountered him that he had found a quiet peace that most people only dream of. While many came to seek his wisdom on various topics, it was the parents who intrigued him the most. These men and women, often with their shoulders weighed down by the burdens of responsibility, would sit before him, their hearts heavy with unspoken fears. They would open up about the pain of aging, about the overwhelming dread of loneliness, the fear of illness, and the terrifying thought of being forgotten. Their hearts bled with uncertainties about the future, and it was their vulnerability that touched him deeply. One such day, an elderly man approached the philosopher. His eyes were filled with a sorrow that could not be hidden, as if the weight of his years had accumulated into a crushing burden. "Master," the man said, his voice trembling with emotion, "I've spent my life working tirelessly. I've built a great house, earned wealth, and provided for my family. But now, in the twilight of my years, I feel hollow. My accomplishments seem meaningless. I fear losing what I have worked so hard for and becoming a burden to those I love. I wonder, has it all truly been worth it?" The philosopher listened intently, his heart aching for the man's pain. He stood slowly, his movements graceful and deliberate, and then reached for a simple clay vase that sat in the corner of the room. Its surface was worn, a testament to its age, and its form was simple, yet striking in its quiet beauty. Holding it with great care, the philosopher spoke softly but firmly, his voice carrying the weight of a lifetime of reflection. "Look at this vase," he said, his hands gently cradling it. "This vase has been molded by many hands, shaped by fire, and marked by time. It bears the scars of its journey, yet it remains beautiful. Its beauty is not in how perfect it is, but in the simplicity with which it fulfills its purpose. It doesn't seek to impress with ornamentation, and it's not afraid to break because it understands that even in its fragility, it is still useful. This vase was made to last, and even if it breaks, its usefulness will not be lost. It will still be cherished for what it is." The man, his eyes fixed on the vase, felt something shift inside him, a subtle change in his perspective, though his worries still lingered. The philosopher continued, his voice calm and steady. In the same way, old age teaches us to let go of the weight of things that don't matter. It invites us to simplify, strip away the excess, and focus on what is truly important. Love, peace of mind, and the real connections we form with others. The things that truly nourish us, not the material or the fleeting. The old man's heart still trembled with a question that haunted him, one he could not escape. But what about my fear of depending on others? What about the loss of control over my own life? His voice was barely a whisper, as though he were afraid of hearing the answer. Without hesitation, the philosopher handed the vase to the elderly man, placing it carefully in his hands. "Take care of yourself," he said, "as you would care for this vase. With gentleness, with respect, and with attention. The years may bring fragility, yes, but they also bring clarity. They gift us the ability to see what truly sustains us, and to value what fills our hearts with joy and meaning. Build your life on what is solid. Your home, your friendships, your habits that nurture you. And when the time comes, when the weight of things beyond your control becomes too much to bear, surrender. Let go." Real freedom, you see, isn't about holding on to things. It's about the lightness with which we embrace life's flow, trusting that it will carry us where we need to go. The old man, his heart touched in a way that words could not express, stood silently, contemplating the philosopher's words. He had heard something profound, something that, at that moment, made the fears that had haunted him for so long feel less significant. He had glimpsed a truth that had eluded him for years. The real wealth of aging was not in the accumulation of possessions, but in the act of letting go, not in clinging to control, but in embracing the serenity of knowing what truly matters. What a revelation this was! The simple beauty of life, its fleeting moments of connection, and the gentle grace of accepting both the passage of time and the freedom that comes with it. With gratitude overflowing from his heart, the old man left the philosopher's house that day, feeling lighter, his spirit unburdened by the weight of his fears. He now understood that true fulfillment in old age comes not from what we possess, but from what we have learned to release, and in that release, we find the peace we've been searching for all along. 1. Do not trust only in luck. Relying on luck might feel like the easiest and most comforting thing to do. It's incredibly tempting to believe that, eventually, life will get better on its own, that one day the chaos will subside, or that, just when things seem most hopeless, a miracle will occur, bringing everything into perfect harmony. We've all experienced moments where we've wished for a sudden shift in fate, a twist of fortune, or a sudden breakthrough to come from nowhere. But the truth is, can we depend on luck to shape the course of our lives? Can we trust in something so unpredictable to secure our future? The ancient philosophers, wise beyond measure, had a profoundly realistic view of this. Seneca, for instance, warned us that relying purely on luck is like setting sail without ever touching the rudder. The wind, luck, is a force of nature, blowing in whichever direction it pleases, indifferent to our desires. It doesn't always blow in our favor, and if we put all our hope in it, we may find ourselves adrift on stormy seas, helpless and exposed. When we place all our faith in the whims of chance, we risk being swept away to places we never intended to go, and more often than not, those places are not as pleasant as we hope. I've learned this the hard way. The unpredictable nature of life can be as unforgiving as it is mysterious. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. What the philosophers imparted to us still holds today. It's our decisions, our actions, and our commitment to the course we choose that truly determine the direction of our lives. We can't just sit back and hope for a miracle to save us. We must actively engage with life, making deliberate choices every day that move us toward the future we want. It's easy to dismiss the small, seemingly insignificant daily actions, eating well, exercising, reading, and nurturing our minds. We sometimes think these actions are too simple and too trivial to make a big difference. But they are the building blocks, the foundation upon which everything else is built. When added up, these seemingly small steps create a life of stability, health, and purpose. Luck, when it does come into play, can certainly offer a brief respite or a short-lived advantage, but it is the responsibility we take for our own lives that truly moves us forward in a meaningful way. I often think of life as a ship sailing through the open sea. The wind, our metaphorical luck, can fill the sails and propel us forward, but it is we who control the rudder. We are the ones who decide the course. And when a storm arises, as storms inevitably do, we cannot just sit back and hope it will pass. We must take action. We adjust the sails, we brace ourselves, and if necessary, we slow down to weather the storm safely. This is the essence of resilience, the ability to respond with purpose and strength when life tests us. It's something I've learned deeply over the years. The wisdom and experience that come with age allow us to recognize what really matters, focus on the things we can control, and let go of the things we can't. As time passes, it becomes clearer that luck is not some fleeting random stroke of fate, but more like a harvest, a reflection of what we've sown and tended to every day. What we nurture over time, with care and consistency, yields the richest rewards. It's the small, thoughtful actions, repeated consistently, that create a lasting and meaningful impact. That's why I truly believe it's necessary to let go of outdated habits and beliefs, to cast aside the constant need for instant gratification, and to trust in the process of steady growth. The true peace we seek comes not from relying on external forces, but from the quiet confidence that we are doing everything within our power to build a secure, meaningful, and fulfilling life. My advice with all my heart is this: do not place your trust solely in luck. Do not let the whims of chance dictate your future. Take responsibility for your own life, starting with the choices you make today. Every small step you take to care for your body, to stimulate your mind, to nurture your soul, these are the measures that will carry you through the years. These are the actions that pave the way to a life without fear of the unknown, without worry about what the future might hold. And when you do what is within your control, when you take charge of your life, something remarkable happens. Life becomes lighter. And, in a beautiful twist of fate, even luck seems to favor you. 2. Be discreet about your estate with family members. As we move through the years of our lives, there comes a time when our possessions and the wealth we've carefully accumulated become a point of focus, particularly among family members. The fruits of your labor, whether it's a small nest egg, a house, or a more significant fortune, are often the result of years of hard work, sacrifice, and careful planning. However, as much as we might feel the desire to share our accomplishments and material gains with those closest to us, there is an underlying truth that we must acknowledge. Being open about our estate with family can lead to unexpected and, at times, painful consequences. I have seen firsthand how money and possessions can create tension, where once there was love and mutual respect. It's hard to ignore that discussions about inheritances, wealth, and material belongings can quickly bring out emotions like jealousy, resentment, or even bitter misunderstandings among loved ones. It's a sad but undeniable reality that can shake the foundation of even the strongest familial bonds. If there is anything I've learned over the years, it's this: the peace that we build in our relationships is worth far more than any asset or material wealth we could ever acquire. In a world where so many people value appearances and status, the wisdom of life is often found in discretion and balance. When we show off our prosperity or bring up our wealth too freely, we invite expectations from others, expectations that can feel like a burden rather than a blessing. The teachings of the Greek philosophers resonate deeply in moments like these. They often said that true security isn't found in the things we possess, but in who we are. This belief becomes even more meaningful as we grow older and reflect on what truly matters. I've come to realize that while money can come and go, the lasting value lies in the relationships we nurture, not in what we accumulate. Keeping the details of our resources and plans to ourselves doesn't just protect our peace of mind, it safeguards the emotional integrity of our family connections. Sometimes, it's necessary to decide who truly needs to know about our financial situation, and those decisions should be made with careful consideration. Trust is a delicate thing, and it must be shared only with those we have absolute confidence in. By doing so, we protect ourselves from misunderstandings and potential conflicts that could harm the relationships we hold dear. To me, the real wealth in life lies in the harmony we foster within our families. It's not about the things we leave behind, but the love, respect, and understanding we cultivate. By valuing family harmony above material possessions, we give ourselves the priceless gift of peace. Every family gathering should feel light, joyful, and free of the heavy burden that money can sometimes bring. The goal is for our relationships to thrive based on the real connections that bind us, affection, kindness, and shared experiences, not on material wealth that can so easily come between us. So, my final piece of advice is simple yet profound. Keep the details of your wealth private. Share them only with those who truly need to know and who can handle that information responsibly. Protect the peace of your relationships above all else, for that is the greatest treasure you can preserve. By placing love and family first, we leave behind a priceless legacy, a legacy of mutual respect, understanding, and genuine friendship that no amount of money could ever buy. 3. Move carefully and avoid overloads. As time passes, our bodies inevitably change, and movement becomes less fluid and agile. Our bodies, which have tirelessly carried us through decades of challenges, achievements, and experiences, now call for more deliberate attention and tender care. This is a pivotal moment in life, one that invites us to reflect deeply on the journey we've had and the need to honor and respect the body that has done so much for us. The key to maintaining a fulfilling and safe life in this phase is adjusting our lifestyle and making mindful choices to safeguard both our physical well-being and peace of mind. At this stage, many of us face the temptation to maintain the pace and vigor of our younger years, to push through the aches and pains, unwilling to let go of the familiar rush of activity. But in doing so, we may not realize the potential consequences of a simple misstep. A fall, which might have once been inconsequential, can now lead to far-reaching consequences, altering the course of daily life. This truth is a sobering reminder that we must respect the limitations of our bodies, not out of fear, but out of wisdom and gratitude. The great philosopher Aristotle emphasized the importance of balance, teaching us that the pursuit of virtue lies in finding the middle ground. Now, more than ever, balance should be our guiding principle, a measure of self-respect that honors our body's needs while still embracing life's joys. Caring for our bodies at this stage is not merely about self-preservation. It is about maintaining the vitality and energy to engage with life, but in ways that are mindful and considerate of our physical limits. It's about moving forward, not recklessly, but with intentionality. Small, seemingly simple changes can have an enormous impact. Adjusting the home environment, placing furniture strategically to reduce the risk of tripping, adding support bars in frequently used spaces, or choosing to avoid high, precarious places, can create an environment that fosters confidence and safety. These thoughtful adjustments, though minor in appearance, are profound in their ability to make everyday tasks easier and more secure. Respecting the body in this way is an act of profound gratitude. It is an acknowledgement of all the ways our body has served us over the years, and a promise to honor its needs. It is not a limitation, but a freedom. Freedom from the worry of injury, freedom to continue living a life of autonomy, and freedom to enjoy the simple acts of being alive. Careful movement, taking deliberate time to rest, stretching, and walking gently, are not signs of weakness, but of strength in maturity. They are decisions made with intention, nurturing both body and soul. They affirm that self-care is not just a choice, but a vital part of a purposeful life. For those who struggle with these changes, think of an ancient, sturdy tree standing proudly in a field. The tree bends with the wind, yet its roots are firmly planted and secure in the soil. It does not attempt to defy the storms, for it knows its limits and moves in harmony with its environment. It adapts when necessary, but always preserves its essence. Just like that tree, we must learn to adapt to our circumstances, adjusting our habits and environment at our own pace, allowing for the flow of life without compromising our foundation. These thoughtful adaptations are not only practical but incredibly valuable in living a life that feels whole and fulfilling. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Walking in safe places, choosing to carry lighter loads, and engaging in physical activities that strengthen the body without strain. These are all steps that enhance the quality of life. Vitality doesn't stem from pushing limits, but from consistent, mindful action and self-responsibility. It's not about grand efforts. It's about taking care of the details and appreciating each moment as a chance to nurture ourselves. When we embrace these acts of care, they no longer feel like restrictions. They become essential aspects of a life that honors and cherishes every gesture and every movement. And as we protect our bodies, we protect our spirits. With each careful, loving choice, we cultivate peace within, knowing that we are doing our very best for ourselves and the ones we hold dear. There is serenity in this knowing, a quiet confidence that comes from understanding that every step we take is a step toward a life that still holds beauty, possibility, and love. 4. Accept that some friendships distance themselves or end. As we journey through life, we come to realize that friendships, just like everything else, are subject to change. The people we meet along the way, whether through work, study, or shared experiences, often shape the course of our lives. But time, that relentless, ever-moving force, gradually alters the bonds we once held so dear. When we reach retirement, a significant turning point in our lives, it becomes increasingly apparent that the friendships which once filled our days are now becoming more distant, fading into occasional, sporadic encounters. It's a natural evolution, one that isn't necessarily negative or something to mourn. In fact, it's part of life's beautiful cycle. People grow, change, and move in different directions, and that's okay. It's the way life unfolds. I've come to realize that we cannot hold on to every single connection, no matter how meaningful it once was. The ancient philosophers, wise beyond their time, understood the profound impact of time's passage. Heraclitus, in his deep wisdom, said that the only constant in life is change. This simple but powerful truth resonates deeply in our later years. As we reflect on friendships and relationships that have come and gone, there can be a sense of melancholy, even a bittersweet nostalgia. We look back at old colleagues, friends, and acquaintances, and we feel the pang of separation. But here's the thing. The more we fight to hold on to connections that no longer serve us or that have naturally faded, the more we risk inviting unnecessary sorrow into our hearts. Some things are meant to be let go of, and that is a hard but important lesson to learn. Maturity, as painful as it can be at times, teaches us that true peace comes from acceptance. It's about learning to honor what was, but also recognizing that it's okay to release what no longer fits into our present. When we accept that each friendship had its value at the right time, we can cherish the memories, the shared moments, without desperately trying to cling to the past. I have learned that nostalgia has its place, but it cannot be a constant companion. It's during these later years when the relationships that truly matter, those with family, close friends, and loved ones, become more precious than ever. These are the people who hold us up when we need it most, the ones who understand the depths of our souls. Strengthening these intimate bonds becomes our anchor in a time of transition, helping us create a new circle of love, support, and understanding. Grandchildren, neighbors, and even a few lifelong friends. These are the true treasures that life gives us. What I've come to deeply understand is that it's not the quantity of relationships that matters, but the quality. It's not about the number of people in your life. It's about the ones who truly see you, who support you, and who share your journey. When we embrace the natural ebb and flow of relationships, we gain a sense of freedom. Freedom from the pressure of maintaining connections that have long outlived their purpose. This freedom gives us the space to nurture the relationships that matter most, the ones that bring meaning to our lives today. These are the connections that help us rediscover who we are, that make us feel anchored, and remind us that we are never truly alone. So, instead of focusing on the friendships that have drifted away or the changes in old relationships, I urge you to focus on the ones that remain. The people who are here right now in your life. Treasure those fleeting moments of companionship, the spontaneous conversations, the laughter that fills the air. These present relationships are what truly sustain us. They are the circle of love that wraps around us, providing warmth and comfort in the latter years of life. And as we grow older, this circle becomes a source of strength, reminding us that joy and serenity are found not in what we have lost, but in what we still hold dear. 5. Ensure your financial security. As we age, time has a way of teaching us valuable lessons, and one of the most profound lessons we can learn is the importance of financial security. It's often assumed that once we reach the later years of life, expenses will naturally decrease. The truth, however, is that the opposite is often true. As we grow older, healthcare costs, wellness needs, and necessary lifestyle adjustments can significantly increase, sometimes in ways we never imagined. This is why it is so vital to prioritize financial freedom, not just as a goal, but as a necessity for peace of mind and dignity in our later years. Being financially independent means having the freedom to live life on your own terms, without constantly worrying about relying on others. Imagine the comfort of not having to turn to children or family members to cover your daily expenses or healthcare needs. That sense of independence is priceless. It means being able to make decisions that are truly aligned with your own needs, not based on the burdens of others' financial situations. When you've prepared financially for your retirement, it's like you've built a reserve of security, an invisible cushion that can absorb the shocks of life. And most importantly, it gives you the freedom to enjoy those years with your health, dignity, and peace of mind intact. Anyone who has ever faced financial hardship can relate to the distress of being in need and having nothing to turn to. It's a feeling of vulnerability, and the fear of being dependent on others can weigh heavily on our hearts. This is why ancient wisdom, like that of Socrates, speaks so strongly to us today. He preached the importance of prudence, simplicity, and, most of all, preparation. Planning for the future isn't just a practical measure. It's a fundamental part of living with serenity and dignity. I can't help but agree with Socrates. How much easier is it to sleep at night knowing that the future is secure, that we have done our part to ensure a comfortable life in our later years? Many older adults come to realize that medical costs, health insurance, and even the adjustments needed to make a home safer as we age are not trivial expenses. These are not luxuries. They are essential investments in the quality of life we deserve. We're not just talking about fancy vacations or extravagant purchases. We're talking about the basic needs that ensure our well-being, things like mobility aids, healthcare services, and even modifications to the home that allow us to age in place comfortably. These are the realities of aging, and it's crucial to understand that planning for them doesn't just make sense, it's an act of self-care. True financial security, in my eyes, is not just about having enough money saved up. It's about preserving your dignity and ensuring that you can maintain a sense of autonomy in your life, no matter what happens. When we take care of our own financial future, we're not just helping ourselves. We are also relieving our loved ones from the heavy burden of having to take care of us in a way that might strain their own lives. That in itself is a beautiful gift to give, to live in a way that honors our relationships by not burdening them with our financial difficulties. And, let's be honest, how many stories do we hear about families fighting over money? It's heartbreaking, yet it happens far too often. Financial dependence can lead to tensions and uncomfortable situations that only add stress to everyone involved. I've seen it, and I've felt it. That's why I believe that taking control of our financial security in our later years is not just a personal responsibility but a deep act of love and respect for our families. It's about living our final years in peace, knowing that we won't be forced to make difficult decisions because of financial limitations. We have a right to make choices based on what we truly need, not what we can afford in a moment of desperation. The advice could not be clearer. Take care of your financial resources as you would a garden. Every small, conscious choice you make now, whether it's saving, investing, or simply spending wisely, is like planting a seed for your future peace of mind. Financial security is not just a safety net, it is the foundation of a life lived well. It allows your heart to rest easy, knowing that your future is as secure as possible. When you know your financial needs are covered, it's like a weight is lifted off your shoulders. Life becomes brighter, freer, and more joyous. You can live with the confidence that you are equipped to handle whatever comes, and that is something truly priceless. 6. Avoid overworking. As we age, our health becomes one of our most precious and irreplaceable treasures. It is so easy to take our health for granted when we're younger, but as we grow older, it is paramount that we shift our focus toward nurturing it with even greater care and attention. It's not uncommon for many to feel like they still have the same strength they had in their youth when they reach their later years. They push themselves to maintain the same pace, the same level of activity, believing that they are still capable of handling everything life throws their way. But, as life has a way of teaching us, the body requires a different kind of respect as we grow older. It's a truth that we can't ignore. The years take a toll. What once felt effortless can, over time, become more difficult and even dangerous. Overworking and overburdening ourselves can lead to consequences we may not have anticipated. Physical aging is inevitable, and with it come challenges we never faced in our younger years. The body, the very thing that carried us through so many experiences, starts to show signs of wear and tear. What may have once seemed like a mere inconvenience can quickly turn into a serious health issue. And this is where wisdom must come into play. It's essential that we learn to recognize our limits, not as a weakness, but as an act of profound respect for ourselves. We are not machines, and there is great wisdom in knowing when to stop. As the philosopher Epictetus once said, "It is not what happens that makes us sick, but our reaction to it." This couldn't ring truer in our golden years. If we stubbornly ignore the body's pleas for rest and relaxation, we run the very real risk of depleting ourselves to the point of exhaustion, both physically and emotionally. The price for pushing ourselves too hard can be incredibly high, and often we don't realize how deeply the toll affects us until it's too late. There is no shame in slowing down. In fact, there is wisdom and peace in it. In a society that often places value on doing more and being more, it's easy to feel like we must prove that we're still capable of the same feats as before. But true strength lies in embracing the fact that this is a time of harvest, not hustle. It is a time to savor the fruits of a life well lived. As we mature, quality of life becomes far more significant than quantity. The beauty of this phase lies in its simplicity, its opportunity to focus on what really matters, the moments that nourish us, not deplete us. Rather than filling our days with exhausting tasks and overwhelming commitments, we have the privilege of choosing activities that bring us joy and peace without pushing our limits. Simple pleasures, like taking a walk in nature, tending to a garden, enjoying a good book, or going on small, peaceful trips, can keep the body engaged and the mind sharp, all without risking the precious balance we need to maintain. This is the true secret to a life well lived, a life rooted in balance. The balance between action and rest, movement and stillness, excitement and serenity. It is in learning to honor both sides of this coin that we find true health, both physical and emotional. Taking care of ourselves at this stage isn't just about physical health, it's about emotional self-respect too. When we listen to our bodies and respect our limits, we release ourselves from unnecessary pressures, freeing ourselves to live without the constant weight of doing more. This doesn't mean that life becomes less fulfilling or less vibrant. On the contrary, it means learning to live fully but with wisdom, prioritizing the things that nurture and enrich us. By respecting ourselves, we create the space for deeper emotional connections and greater contentment. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Taking care of your health is not just a duty, it is the deepest form of self-love and self-respect. It is a way to ensure that the later years of life can be lived with joy, vitality, and a willingness to savor every precious moment. So, let me leave you with this piece of advice. Listen to your body. Honor the requests it makes. Cherish the small joys of each day, the simple beauties that surround you. Give yourself the grace of a slower, more intentional rhythm of life. In doing so, you will find that your body responds with renewed strength. Your spirit feels lighter, and life, in all its richness, begins to shine brighter, free from the relentless rush and needless burdens of the past. 7. Enjoy what you have achieved. It's easy to get caught up in the endless pursuit of saving and securing our future, and let's face it, the habit of diligently putting away every penny is undeniably valuable. It provides a sense of security and peace of mind during times of uncertainty. However, there's an important distinction between being prudent and being excessively frugal, especially as we age. When we're young, it's natural to put our energy into saving for tomorrow, planning for children, building a home, and preparing for the unknowns that life throws our way. But as we grow older, there comes a time when we must pause, reflect, and allow ourselves the privilege to enjoy the fruits of our labor. After all, the little pleasures in life are not just luxuries. They are the embodiment of a lifetime of hard work and sacrifice. I've come to realize that enjoying a simple, delicious meal, the feeling of comfort in new clothes, or the joy of stepping out and embracing new experiences is not only about self-care. It's about honoring the journey we've taken and the life we've built. Too often, we are taught that indulgence is a form of weakness, that we should always defer our happiness for some future moment. But let's be honest. How much longer can we keep postponing joy? Life is fleeting, and the wisdom of the ancients reminds us that life's true wealth is found in moments that touch our hearts, in experiences that fill us with gratitude. A life well lived is one that doesn't just count the hours but savors the moments. Extreme frugality, while it has its place, can sometimes steal away the very essence of living. It's not about spending recklessly or indulging in excess, but about recognizing the value in what you've earned and knowing when it's okay to indulge, when it's okay to give yourself permission to bask in the comfort that comes from a life well invested. This is not selfishness. This is self-respect. And here's the beautiful thing. When we allow ourselves to indulge, even in small ways, we open up a world of experiences that become a treasure trove of memories. Philosophers like Seneca often spoke of the importance of not letting material things define our happiness. But the deeper message is not one of deprivation. Rather, it is of moderation and wise use. Life doesn't become richer by simply accumulating, but by living in a way that balances need with comfort, duty with pleasure. It's so easy to fall into the trap of thinking that the next moment will bring happiness, that tomorrow is the time to enjoy what we've earned. But as we grow older, we learn the hard truth. We can't live for tomorrow. The gift of today is all we have, and it is precious beyond words. So, why not take a moment, just for yourself, to embrace the comfort that's been earned, to savor the small pleasures? Because in those moments, we honor all the struggles, the triumphs, and the perseverance that have brought us here. We have earned this. We deserve this. To indulge in life's comforts, whether it's a quiet evening of relaxation, a meal shared with loved ones, or a trip to explore something new, is not only wise but necessary. This is the time to cherish every little victory, to make peace with the past, and to celebrate the present for what it is, a gift. I encourage you to allow yourself the simple joy of living without guilt or hesitation. Don't let fear of indulgence cloud the beauty of today. Life is meant to be lived, and when we take the time to enjoy what we've achieved, we find peace in every breath, joy in every simple moment. By embracing the rewards of our hard work, we transform the past of effort into a present of rich, meaningful experiences, creating memories that will warm our hearts for years to come. After all, as the old saying goes, we can't take anything with us, so why not make the now a time of celebration, comfort, and joy? Let the richness of life's little pleasures fill your heart today, for tomorrow may never come. 8. Stay in your home. The place where we live is much more than just four walls and a roof. It is a vessel of our memories, emotions, and a testament to the journey of our lives. Every room, every piece of furniture, and every corner holds a story, each one speaking quietly of the moments we've lived through, the people we've loved, and the experiences that have shaped us. As we grow older, the home we've built with time transforms into something far more precious. It becomes a sanctuary. This is not simply a place to sleep or eat. It is where our hearts find peace, where the familiar comfort of our surroundings makes us feel grounded and safe. In old age, our home becomes a symbol of our independence, our stability, and our enduring connection to the life we've led. It is often suggested that elderly individuals should leave their homes, either to live with family or to move to an assisted living facility, where everything is designed for convenience and practicality. On the surface, these changes seem like they should bring comfort and ease, but in reality, they often result in feelings of insecurity and discomfort. It's not just a matter of leaving behind familiar surroundings. It's about losing a part of ourselves. Moving away from the home we've created and nurtured over the years can feel like abandoning a piece of our soul. It can feel like losing our sense of self. The idea of staying in one's own home is not rooted in materialism or stubbornness. It's about preserving something much deeper: our dignity, our sense of identity, and our autonomy. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "True peace comes when we learn to be content with what we have and what feels like home to us." A house that has been lived in, that has seen the laughter of family, the quiet moments of solitude, and the warmth of shared experiences, holds the essence of who we are. Every crack in the wall, every photograph hanging on the mantel, every piece of furniture we've lovingly chosen or inherited, tells a part of our story. And that story is precious. It's not something we can easily leave behind. Leaving our home can feel like relinquishing control over our lives. In a new space, whether it's a family home or a facility, the routines and the schedules imposed upon us can strip away the sense of control we once had. The feeling of being in charge of our own space, deciding when to wake up, when to go to bed, and how we want our day to unfold, is not just a luxury. It is a vital part of our emotional and psychological well-being. Without that autonomy, feelings of dependence can creep in, and with them, a sense of loss, as though we are no longer the masters of our own fate. Our own home provides a sense of security that no new place can offer. We know the layout by heart. We know where everything is, and where everything belongs. That small, seemingly insignificant detail is incredibly powerful. It means we do not have to adapt to new spaces, and we do not have to give up the cherished memories that reside within the walls we've lived in. Each photo, each keepsake, is a connection to the past, to the people and moments that have shaped us. In these familiar surroundings, anxiety and stress are eased, and we feel a sense of comfort that is difficult to replicate elsewhere. Before deciding to leave, it is worth reflecting on the immeasurable value of staying in a space that is truly yours. The home where we've lived, where we've loved, and where we've spent countless hours shaping our lives, is more than just a shelter. It is a reflection of who we are, and it provides a foundation upon which we can continue to build. By staying in our own home, we preserve not just our memories, but the very essence of who we are. We continue to write our story, one small moment at a time, in the place that has given us so much peace, comfort, and security. This home, the one we've built, is not just a place to live. It is the place where our hearts have found their home, and where they should remain. 9. Avoid spending on unnecessary products. As we grow older, we inevitably begin to notice the flood of products and flashy promises that bombard us from every corner of the marketplace, all claiming to offer the key to better health and well-being. These promises are tantalizing. The promise of a longer life, a radiant and youthful smile, and a newfound vitality that feels almost within our grasp. It's easy to understand why so many elders are drawn to these offers. After all, who wouldn't want to feel their best, stave off health issues, and recapture a sense of vitality? The desire to feel good is so deeply ingrained in us, and wanting to avoid the discomforts that come with aging is, without a doubt, a natural and human instinct. But here's the painful truth. Amidst all the flashy advertisements and miraculous claims, the reality often falls short. The sheer excess of products and treatments that promise miraculous results can, in fact, do more harm than good. Instead of leading to the rejuvenation we long for, they can become a never-ending cycle of disappointment, frustration, and, often, fatigue. We find ourselves running after one miracle product after another, only to discover that these promises are empty. It's as though we're chasing a phantom, trying to recapture a lost youth that can never truly be regained. It's heartbreaking, isn't it? The more we search for quick fixes, the more exhausted we become, not only financially but emotionally, too. I want to say this clearly. Real well-being cannot be bought off the shelf in a bottle or jar. The wisdom of the ages, passed down through millennia, teaches us that the path to true vitality lies in simplicity. Even Hippocrates, the father of medicine, understood this profound truth when he said, "Let food be thy medicine." Imagine that. The solution to better health, according to the wise physicians of the past, isn't some miracle treatment, but something as fundamental and beautiful as food. A balanced diet, regular exercise, and the pursuit of a peaceful, contented life are the true pillars of health. These simple practices may not promise instant results, but they offer something much more valuable: long-lasting, sustainable well-being. Health, I believe, is a daily act of care and mindfulness. It's not about a single magical product or one-off treatment. It's about the habits we cultivate and the choices we make every single day. It's about getting back to basics. Instead of obsessing over the latest trend or gimmick that promises to transform us, we should focus on what truly matters. Nourishing our bodies with wholesome food, staying physically active, and seeking the guidance of healthcare professionals who have earned our trust. These are the real investments we should make. These habits are like strong, deep roots that will keep us grounded and healthy, no matter how much time passes. And let's not forget the financial aspect. We all know how tempting it is to purchase the latest supplement or beauty product, but these items often end up gathering dust in a drawer. The cost of these unfulfilled promises can quickly add up, straining our wallets and leaving us with little to show for it. Why not redirect that energy and money into taking care of yourself in a way that is not only simple but also affordable and effective? There's true wisdom in the quiet, consistent care of our bodies and minds. It may not be as glamorous, but it works, and it lasts. Ultimately, peace of mind comes from making well-informed, intentional decisions that prioritize our health and happiness. True contentment doesn't come from chasing after fleeting promises of eternal youth or elusive miracle products. No, the real secret to a fulfilling long life is found in the everyday practices that promote balance and well-being. So, here's my message to you, dear reader. Simplify. Embrace the quiet power of healthy habits, the strength that comes from living with intention and moderation, and the calm that follows a well-cared-for mind and body. Health is a precious gift, and we cultivate it each and every day through thoughtful, loving care. It's this daily commitment to ourselves that unlocks the door to a full and vibrant life. Let's stop searching for the next quick fix and instead embrace the deep, lasting satisfaction of truly caring for ourselves. 10. Value living in harmony with your partner. As we journey through life, many of us come to realize that the most enduring and loyal relationship we have is the one we share with our partner. As the years pass, and the hustle and bustle of raising children quiets down, the bond between two people deepens in ways that can be truly magical. In our older years, when the children have moved on to build their own lives, the house often becomes emptier, and it is during this time that our partner becomes the constant presence in our lives. They become not only our companion but also our confidant, the person we turn to every day for comfort, understanding, and a sense of belonging. This is the person who, through thick and thin, remains by our side, and yet, it is sadly all too common for small arguments to creep into the relationship as time goes on. These disputes, which often stem from insignificant matters, can slowly but steadily chip away at the peace and closeness that should define these years together. What should be a time of rest, support, and companionship can sometimes turn into a battleground over trivialities, and it's heartbreaking to think that something so precious could be tarnished by things that, in the grand scheme of life, don't truly matter. The elders, those wise souls who have lived through decades of both joy and hardship, often spoke of the importance of friendship in marriage and companionship. Confucius, the great philosopher who dedicated his life to understanding the deeper truths of existence, once said that inner peace begins with our closest relationships. He understood that it is from these foundational bonds that we draw the strength and balance to navigate the challenges life throws our way. When we allow ourselves to focus on nurturing these relationships, especially with our life partner, we find ourselves able to face the world with a renewed sense of calm and perspective. This doesn't mean we should avoid conflict altogether, but rather, we must learn to see the bigger picture, putting aside petty disagreements in favor of a deeper connection. At this stage of life, it's essential to prioritize what truly matters: mutual respect, love, and the shared journey of growing old together. Living in harmony with our partner requires patience, tolerance, and a constant reminder to appreciate one another. Instead of letting small issues turn into huge problems, why not take a step back and appreciate the beauty of simply being together? Often, as we grow older, it's not the big moments but the small, quiet moments of companionship that truly warm our hearts and leave the most cherished memories. Those quiet evenings spent talking over dinner, the comfortable silences, the simple act of holding hands. These are the moments that stay with us long after the noise of the world has faded. It's so easy to lose sight of that in the middle of life's chaos, but when we reflect on it, those are the moments that make our hearts full. In a world that is constantly changing, it is the person who stands by our side through all the shifts, the one who truly understands us, that becomes our greatest treasure. Our partner knows us better than anyone else, sharing in our past, helping us through our struggles, and celebrating our victories. They are not just our spouse, they are our emotional anchor, our safe harbor. In many ways, they are our refuge, offering us a peace and security that nothing else can. It's not just a romantic connection. It's a deeply emotional bond that sustains us. And let's be real, the benefits of living in harmony with your partner go far beyond just emotional fulfillment. When we live in peace, free from the stress of constant conflict, we experience a profound sense of well-being. Stress and discord take a toll on both our bodies and minds, contributing to health issues that can affect our overall quality of life. But when we are at peace with the one we love, our stress levels drop, our immune system strengthens, and we feel a sense of vitality that no pill or treatment can offer. This sense of peace brings us a kind of health that goes beyond physical wellness. It nurtures our soul. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. True health, in every sense, flourishes in an environment of love, respect, and affection. So, instead of allowing trivial disagreements to disrupt the beautiful bond you share with your partner, make a conscious decision to embrace their presence. Life is far too short to let small issues ruin what truly matters. The love and companionship we share are too precious to be taken for granted. Every day with our partner is a gift, a chance to create memories and savor the simple pleasures of life together. As we age, things can feel uncertain, and yet, there is something deeply reassuring about having someone beside you who loves you for who you are. This union, built on trust and shared experiences, is not just comforting, it's empowering. It gives us the strength to face the future with grace and sensitivity, knowing that we have a partner who walks beside us, offering unconditional love and support. So let us celebrate this bond, hold on to it tightly, and remember that the greatest joy often lies in the moments spent in peace with the one we love. 11. Think well before you get married again. Loneliness is a heart-wrenching companion that often arrives unexpectedly in our later years. For many, it seems to knock quietly at the door as the years advance, reminding us of the passage of time and the absence of the companionship we once had. When this happens, it's only natural to long for the warmth of a partner, the comforting presence of someone special with whom to share life's joys and sorrows. But before rushing into remarriage, especially in our golden years, it's important to pause and reflect deeply. Rebuilding a romantic relationship in older age is not as simple as it might seem. It is, in fact, a decision that carries with it complexities that are often absent in youth. As we grow older, our lives are already marked by layers of experience, deeply entrenched family ties, and well-established routines. These are the things that shape us and give our lives structure. To bring someone new into that world can be challenging, sometimes even overwhelming. The comfort of our own space, our own way of doing things, and our autonomy might be hard to relinquish. In fact, there may be moments when the idea of a new partner feels more like an intrusion than an addition, and this is a truth that shouldn't be overlooked. Philosophers and thinkers throughout history have pondered the profound nature of relationships. Aristotle, for instance, spoke of friendship as one of life's greatest gifts, claiming that it often runs deeper and lasts longer than romantic love. As we mature, it's possible that the friendships we have cultivated over the years, along with the unbreakable bonds with our children and grandchildren, become our source of emotional fulfillment. These deep, meaningful connections can offer the love and support we seek, without the complications that a new relationship could introduce. While remarrying might seem like a valid choice for some, it's crucial to ask yourself whether it will truly bring you the peace and serenity you crave, or if it could add unnecessary stress. The reality of romantic relationships in our later years often involves practical considerations, things like financial matters, estate planning, and coexisting with family members from both sides. These can become points of contention if not addressed openly and thoughtfully. Transparency and calm are essential if we are to avoid unnecessary conflict down the road. For many, the solution might lie in focusing on existing relationships, cherishing time with children, grandchildren, and dear friends. These relationships, steeped in history and mutual understanding, can fill our lives with love and joy without the emotional weight that often accompanies a romantic partnership. There's also the issue of autonomy. Many older adults find a deep sense of freedom in solitude. Living alone, they are free to cultivate their own routines, explore personal passions, and engage in activities that bring them joy. There's no need to constantly negotiate compromises or cater to someone else's needs. This period of life offers an opportunity for profound self-discovery, personal growth, and the chance to nurture new interests. For some, this autonomy is not something to be feared but something to be celebrated and embraced. When the thought of remarriage crosses your mind, take the time to ask yourself, is this decision truly coming from a place of wanting to share your life with another, or is it a reaction to loneliness? If you find someone who truly aligns with your values, goals, and desires, and if your heart feels at peace with the idea of building a life together, then perhaps it's worth pursuing. But if the desire to remarry is simply a longing to fill the emptiness of solitude, consider nurturing the relationships you already have. Invest in those deep connections with family and friends. Fill your life with activities that make you feel alive and purposeful. Ultimately, to love is also to embrace the journey of learning to be happy with oneself. This, in my opinion, is the most valuable lesson we can learn at any stage of life, and it is a lesson that can bring us peace, fulfillment, and a profound sense of well-being. 12. Avoid retirement homes. The idea of moving into a retirement home can stir up a whirlwind of emotions, often leaving us torn between the promise of safety, care, and community, and the deep longing for the comfort of our own familiar surroundings. While retirement homes may offer constant care, a safe environment, and opportunities for companionship, they can also bring an overwhelming sense of isolation and loss. For many, the thought of leaving behind the sanctuary of their own home and moving into a space filled with strangers, people who aren't part of their history or personal narrative, can feel incredibly alienating. It's not just about changing locations. It's about leaving behind the very essence of what makes us feel truly home. Home is so much more than just walls and furniture. It's the very fabric of our memories, our identity, and our sense of belonging. It's a place where we've lived, laughed, cried, and created moments that define us. Think about those small, everyday objects. The photos on the walls, the furniture carefully chosen over years, the trinkets that tell the story of our lives. These things are more than just possessions. They are reminders of love, laughter, and all the chapters of our personal journeys. The Roman philosopher Seneca beautifully expressed that true peace of mind comes from being where we feel at home, where our soul can rest in the comfort of familiarity. For many of us, our home is where we find this peace, where we can truly be ourselves, surrounded by memories of the past that continue to bring us comfort. Now, imagine the feeling of leaving all that behind. Moving into a retirement home might seem like a practical solution, a way to ensure our physical care in our later years. However, we must reflect on what it truly means to be uprooted from the place that holds our history, our cherished memories. Rather than offering the security it promises, a retirement home can, for some, create a sense of displacement, where everything we've ever known becomes distant and foreign. The comforts of our own home are replaced by the coldness of unfamiliarity, and the deep emotional connection we have with our space is severed. Moreover, retirement homes often come with a sacrifice of personal autonomy. The freedom to live our days as we choose, to make decisions about how we spend our time, and to maintain the small routines that provide satisfaction and purpose. At home, there is a sense of control. We can still do things on our terms, from choosing when to wake up to deciding what activities fill our day. The freedom to enjoy life in our own way can be a source of great comfort. In a retirement home, that control is often diminished. The daily routine is dictated, not by us, but by the structure of the facility, and many older individuals experience the heartbreaking feeling of losing their ability to make even the smallest of choices. But there is hope. There are alternatives that allow people to remain in the familiar embrace of their homes while still receiving the care and support they need. Hiring caregivers to assist with daily tasks, for example, can provide the comfort of being in a place that feels safe and secure, without having to relinquish the treasures of our home and the comfort of our own memories. With the help of family, friends, and a network of trained professionals, we can continue to experience the peace of mind we deserve, without having to adjust to a completely new environment that feels foreign and impersonal. Before making the decision to enter a retirement home, I encourage you to pause and truly reflect on the irreplaceable value of your home and all it represents. Staying in the place that holds your memories, your personal history, and your sense of self is not just about physical comfort. It's about maintaining emotional stability, a deep connection to the life you've lived, and the priceless feeling of being grounded in a space that's uniquely yours. There's something profoundly comforting about living each day in the place that has been a witness to all the highs and lows of your life. It's not just about preserving your physical comfort, but about preserving your soul, your history, and the quiet, peaceful joy of living among the things that matter most. The decision to stay in your own home isn't just a choice. It's a declaration of who you are and the life you've lived. 13. Give time to time before making major decisions. Throughout the course of life, we inevitably face situations that stir up deep distress, worry, and a sense of urgency. Unresolved family issues, health problems, or life's unforeseen challenges can become heavy burdens that weigh on the mind. It's entirely human to want to resolve these problems immediately, to find that quick fix, to make everything right again. In moments like these, the pressure to act fast can feel overwhelming. However, with the wisdom that comes with maturity, we begin to understand that not every issue requires an immediate solution. There is an ancient Eastern saying that resonates deeply. Time is the best remedy. These words hold so much truth. It is a powerful reminder that, often, the passage of time can provide the clarity we desperately seek. When we step back and give ourselves the space to breathe, to wait, we may find that the solution reveals itself in its own time, without the rush. The very act of pausing, allowing ourselves to experience time without the weight of impatience, can bring us closer to peace, and sometimes, the problem starts to dissolve on its own, much like a cloud slowly fading into the sky. In line with Stoic philosophy, which I deeply admire, we are reminded that we cannot control the external world, nor can we always dictate how things unfold. What we can control, however, is how we respond to those circumstances, and perhaps more importantly, the thoughts we choose to entertain. Our worries, anxieties, and fears often resemble clouds. They appear to be vast and ominous, but when we stop to observe, we realize they are constantly shifting, evolving, and fading away. The weight we believe they carry is often not as substantial as it initially seemed. By simply pausing, we can see the situation from a clearer perspective. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 5 below to let me know that you are still here with me. This is where true liberation lies, in the ability to wait, to take a step back before making critical decisions. It is a gift we give ourselves, a way of letting go of the relentless pressure to do something, to fix everything at once. We don't have to carry the weight of each decision like it's the final one. Instead, we allow life to unfold naturally, knowing that answers often arrive when we least expect them, but only when we stop pushing and start trusting. It's as if the universe, or perhaps our own hearts, quietly whispers, "There is no rush. You are where you need to be." The act of surrendering to time can be so profoundly freeing. In those moments, the heart finds peace, and the mind becomes clear, and suddenly, life feels lighter. We stop viewing each new challenge as a mountain to climb and instead see it for what it is, a passing moment, an opportunity for growth, something that will eventually resolve in its own time. Patience, in its most beautiful form, becomes the antidote to the stress that often clouds our judgment. Living with this sense of calm, choosing to practice patience, and trusting in the unfolding of life are gifts we give to ourselves, perhaps without even realizing it. When we allow time to heal, when we stop chasing the answers, we protect our hearts and minds from the damage of constant stress. Research shows how chronic anxiety and stress can eat away at our well-being, while calm and serenity have the opposite effect, nourishing both body and soul. It's as if patience itself is medicine, promoting long-term health and happiness. So, when faced with what feels like an urgent problem, pause. Take a deep, grounding breath. Reflect on the situation with a calm heart, and allow yourself time to think. Don't rush to find the solution immediately. Remember, it is often in that very space of waiting that clarity begins to emerge, and answers appear at the right moment. Time has a way of sorting things out when we step back and trust in its wisdom. Every day we live with peace in our hearts and serenity in our minds is, truly, a precious gift to ourselves. And in that peace, we find the true answers. As we wrap up, I want to ask you to take a moment to reflect on what we've discussed today. What have you learned from this idea of giving time to time, of stepping back and allowing space for clarity? How might you begin to practice patience and trust in the natural unfolding of life? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment below and share one thing you've learned today and how you plan to bring it into your life. If you found value in this video, please leave your comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more insightful content. Thank you for being part of this journey with us. And remember, sometimes all we need is time to let things fall into place. Stay patient, stay peaceful, and keep growing.